And welcome back, everyone, to the last Who Would Win of the day. And this is the monthly themed Who Would Win. Now, the monthly themed Who Would Win this time around actually is technically a suggestion from someone. Now, Zion Z, you gave me this suggestion when I started out in the early days, years ago. And I never really got around to it just because more and more people kept giving suggestions. And it really wasn't something that I wanted to do in one video because obviously it's the Akatsuki from Naruto versus the Espada from Bleach. Now, I didn't want to do that one as just one giant battle royale because that's a matter of keeping track of what everyone is doing. It's basically a 10-on-10 fight. Everyone's doing team-ups, individuals dropping at the same time. So that's something I didn't want to do. But then I'm thinking, well, I've done other videos in a different manner that's kind of similar to that. Like, for instance, the strongest and weakest captains, where I basically picked a character from one side of the fence, put them up against each other, all the characters, and figured out how they fared against them. And I thought, well, that's not a bad idea. I can do that. So that's how we're actually going to treat the monthly Who Would Wins for the Akatsuki versus the Arankars. We're going to put I'm basically going to focus on the Akatsuki side of things. So we're going to pick, in this case, we're looking at Hidan first off. And we're going to look at the character. We're going to see their strengths and abilities. And then we're going to put them up against each of the Arankars, each of the Espada within the one video. And then basically what we're going to do is we're going to tally up a score by the end of the entire series and see who ultimately came out on top. So we start this off with Hidan. Now, Hidan was a member of the Akatsuki. Obviously, here he is. Now, Hidan was very unique. Hidan really doesn't have many, if any, jutsu to use. But what he does have is a handy technique of being immortal. By all accounts, he is functionally and physically immortal. He can't die. He can be skewered, stabbed, have his head cut off. He will not die. He still feels pain, though. He gets off on it, honestly. But he can't die. His scythe, it has an extendable or retractable like cable on it that allows him to throw it and then bring it back to him. It has 3 blades on there for maximum efficiency of getting someone's blood. And basically, if he ingests someone's blood, it stands within this circle he makes, his own blood. And he takes on this form of basically like a voodoo doctor. And he's essentially like a voodoo doctor, a witch doctor. And he's like a voodoo doll. Whatever he does to himself is done to the opponent. And if he stabs himself through the heart, he kills his opponent. That said, though, his immortality is predicated on the fact that he theoretically is able to kill other people. If he continues to kill people, that's how he's allowed to keep immortal. Other than that, though, Hidan really doesn't have much. He's very reckless because he's immortal. So yeah. So let's just break this down. I'm not gonna like go over all the Espada by my girlfriend's next door. So I'm gonna actually try to keep some of this as vague as possible, so she doesn't hear me talk about a couple of these characters. But basically, how does Hidan scale up to any of the Espada? Well, let's just go down the row. Espada number 10, for sure. Yami Largo, I think it is. Unfortunately, the problem Hidan honestly is going to face with this, against most of these guys, is the fact that their haru, or their iron skin, I don't think he has really any method of getting through it. I don't think his scythe is sharp enough or strong enough to get through their iron skin. You need a lot of spiritual pressure. Chakra is composed of spiritual pressure. So, spiritual pressure, spiritual energy, and physical energy as well. So you can make the argument that by pumping chakra into his blade, he might be able to kill these guys. So that's possible. But the problem is, they don't have hearts, if I remember correctly. Hollows, there's a reason for that hole. All the Arankar have a hollow hole. Let's see if I can. Yeah, there's Grimjaw's right there. Nuritaro's is in his head. Still never found out where Haribel's is. I think they said it's in a room. Baragon's, it's somewhere in there. Stark's is supposed to be right there. I forgot to put Ukihara on this list. It's a big list, so yeah, I knew I forgot someone. But point being, now we don't know if Yami is capable of Sonido. I don't think we see him use it. Though I think he's capable of using it. I think he may have used it in his fight with Uehara to get the jump on him briefly. The point being, Yami's so large and the Bala technique would move so fast that while Hidan might last a little bit, Yami, even in base form, would probably easily overpower him. It would take a lot even for Hidan even to get a cut in on him, and by then he'd probably be pounded to a pulp or obliterated by a Seru. 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 Yeah. Seru. There we go. Zero, basically. And if he releases Zanpakuto, forget it. Yeah, there's no way Hidan could take on something like that, if you know what I mean. Then you got, oh god, Ariato, I can't remember his name exactly. Espada number 9, who was basically the two floating balls in like a tube, and turned out he's just a hollow that ate other hollows and gained all their abilities, turned into a gelatinous mass. Now, because of it, this is the weird thing. This might be one of the few Espada, and I'm going to tell you right now, Hidan does not fare well pretty much against any of them. We'll go into that in a little bit. But this might be the one that he actually stands a legitimate chance against. Simply on the grounds that he functions differently than the other Espada. He has a body, but he's mostly just these two heads in a jar. In theory, if Hidan could just break that glass container, he could probably take him out. Problem is, this guy knows Sunito, which is their super speed technique. Hidan has no abilities that really could compete with that. Plus, he has a sword of his own. So, he has a Zanpakuto. So, yeah, and then he can turn into that giant gluttonous thing and just obliterate a Hidan if he really wants to. Zyalopa, Grons, Espada 8. Same thing. Basically, because all these guys know Sunito and they have swords pretty much, I don't even think any of these guys would have to release their Resurrections or release their Zanpakutos. I don't think they'd have to do that. Even if they did, then Hidan's screwed. Most of these guys have a hero or iron skin, which would prevent him from really cutting them. So as Saizal, yeah, unfortunately he would win. Oh, I don't even remember this guy's name. Espada number 7. He's kind of forgettable. He's known for fighting Byakuya the one time, and he's got the possession ability, Amur as he called it, when he releases into his giant pumpkin form. Unfortunately, he's supposedly the fastest of all the Espada. And yeah, there's nothing he can really do. Hidan can do against me like that. He's so fast. This guy's so fast he can make like up to 5 clones of himself just from speed alone. Grimmjow, it's kind of enough said on that. Grimmjow is just his sheer ferocity and just tenacity, and then speed, strength, durability. He completely wiped the floor with Hidan. Same with Niotora. His ferocity, the fact that he can regenerate to a certain degree, the fact that he has multiple arms and sides, he's just, and his hero is supposedly the strongest and toughest of the Espada, which makes it even more difficult. And then we get into Ukihara, who, again, just speed and durability alone, he would just outmatch Hidan completely. And then probably just do a serum, blow his head off, wouldn't even need to release his Zanpakuto. Haribel, same there. She would definitely be extremely tough to take on, especially if she decided that she didn't want to mess around and release her Zanpakuto. There's nothing Hidan could do against her release form. Baragon again. Baragon specifically. I mean, and I'm trying to be a little vague, but it's... Anyone who's watching this probably knows enough about Bleach to know what this guy does. But we literally just finished the part. We literally just got to the part in the Arrancar Fake Kurokotown arc where the Soifon is about to go up against Baragon. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing Carrier's reaction to that. But yeah, just from his base form alone and the abilities he has, from his dilation field to the ability to accelerate things, Hidan would be screwed. And if he went Resurrection, if he released his Zanpakuto, yeah, no, Hidan's done. Hidan's done. Spira alone would take him down. There's no way he could get close enough to do anything to Baragon. Nothing at all. And then finally Stark would wipe the floor with him. It's pretty easy to see why too. So ultimately, unfortunately, this doesn't start off very well for the Akatsuki in this. Um, the Akatsuki start out with a 10-0 loss rate. They are they are 10-0 right now, or they are 0-10, I should say. Uh, so Hidan unfortunately is a weak link here, but who knows? We got more guys to come up. They could easily pull out of this. Come from behind victory. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But until then, we'll have to wait till the week of who would win to see a couple more of these ones. So until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. And ideas for who would win. Star Wars, Super Magic, What If, anything to do with the channel. Put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I will see you tomorrow for the What If and then whatever movie I'm seeing tomorrow. Later. Good night.